to Real Life English. My name is Tanita. I wanted to share with you a little tip that maybe, hopefully, could help you learn English a little bit better. Everybody who is learning a language probably faces some regular challenges, and I recently learned about a little trick that you could do that could maybe help when learning a new skill. And that's not just with language, it could be with learning any skill, or even if you just want to improve certain areas of your life, like your finances, relationships, your health, whatever it may be. This little golden nugget that I'm going to give you today, which I hope is very helpful, is something very simple that we can do that could just help us learn something or make things better for ourselves. I do want to add that this is not a quick fix. There is no such thing as a quick fix. They do not exist, okay? So when anybody says to you, here's this one tip that you can do today to be a native speaker, or do this and you'll never make a mistake again, it's lies, okay? Lies. It's not true. There is no such thing as a quick fix. We have to work at it. You've got to put the time and the effort into something. If you want to get better, sorry, it requires hard work and effort. It's just like when you go to the gym and you want to get stronger. To build that muscle, you've got to push it. You've got to lift heavier. You've got to do more reps. You have to do the work to become stronger. It's the same when it comes to learning English. So the little tip that I want to share with you today is what we call micro habits. If you're not sure what a habit is, it is the things that we do every day or very regularly. For example, brushing your teeth, going to bed at 10 a.m. No, going to bed, well, maybe if you work the night shift, but going to bed at 10 p.m. consistently would be examples of a habit. If you've never heard of a micro habit, lucky for you, I am the all-seeing, all-knowing, magical word fairy. Oh, hello! Some magic for you, and some magic for you. Okay, this was like the best thing that I could find to a wand, and it was definitely more appropriate than this. So, yeah, we'll go with this. Okay, I'm not really a fairy, but I definitely can talk to you about micro habits and how they could help you improve your life or help you learn a new skill. A micro habit, also known as a tiny habit, is just a smaller version of another habit or habits that you already do, the larger ones. Before I give you examples of micro habits you could try for English learning, let's have a look at how habits are formed. Now, there's a lot of research out there and a lot of opinions on how long it takes to form a habit. I've come across articles that say 21 days, which is what most of us know. I mean, this is also what I thought was sort of the time frame for forming a habit. But some research says 28 days, and other research says even up to 66 days to form a habit. Honestly, I think when it comes to forming habits, it greatly depends on the person. It depends on you. Your personality, your behaviors are going to sort of guide how long it might take you to form a habit. It also depends on how consistent you are in forming those habits and practicing those routines. If you do it one day and then you don't do it the next day and then you do it again and then you skip a few days, it's going to be really hard to form that habit. The first thing you kind of have to do is know thyself. Okay, that's not my golden nugget for today, but it's very important. If you know that you like to leave things to the last minute, like a procrastinator, yeah, I'm talking about you. You over there. Or if you're the kind of person who needs to be held accountable, you need someone to follow up with you and check in on you to see if you're doing the things that you've set for yourself. Maybe you're the kind of person who's finds it really easy to write things down and just sort of get them done. If you know these things about yourself, this could really help you when you're trying to form a new habit. So maybe the first step in micro habits and learning a new skill or trying to improve certain areas of your life would be what we call self-reflection. Take a little time to sort of really ask yourself sort of what kind of person are you? What things motivate you? What kind of motivation or things do you need to get you going, to get you moving and doing the things that you need to do? That sort of knowledge is really going to help you when it comes to forming habits or setting goals. There are 4 things that you should consider when you want to form a micro habit or a tiny habit. Number 1, set a low bar. This really means to set a goal or something that you want to achieve that is very realistic in nature, something that is easy to do. All right, you don't want to start a tiny habit trying to do something that might be really difficult for you or might even require a little more time than you can give. So set the bar low. Keep it easy, keep it simple. In English, we sometimes like to say that we want to dip our toes into it first. So this is sort of where if we're trying a new thing, instead of just getting right into it and doing everything, right? So imagine you want to start exercising. Instead of starting with 7 days a week for 1.5 hours every day, which is a lot for a new habit, you might start with 5 minutes 3 times a week and sort of see what kinds of exercises you like. Do you like to have an instructor? Do you like to do a class? Do you like to do weights? Do you like to do cardio? You just sort of trying these things out. So we say to dip your toes in. And that would be the first thing to consider when you want to start a micro habit. Start slow, take it easy, make sure it's easy to do. Expectations are low, like low. Okay, it was a bit far down, but okay. Low expectations, all right? And dip your toes in. Give it a try first. See if you like it. If you don't, change it. Number 2, commit and be accountable, which I have spoken about before. If you're going to try and form a micro habit and you're not going to put the commitment in, remember, hard work, dedication, time, those things are important. If you're not going to commit to it and you're not going to hold yourself accountable, it's never going to work. Or you're really going to struggle to make it work and make it effective. So make sure that you commit. Number 3, once you're sort of getting into this new habit and your expectations are low, you've committed, you're sort of consistently doing it, maybe not 100%, but it's happening, right? Which is important. The next thing you should do is expand on that habit. When I say expand on the micro habit, I don't mean to make it really long and difficult. Remember, the first rule is to keep it simple. Set the expectation low. Expanding means to add a little more to it. And every time you add a little bit more, and it sort of is becoming part of your life, you should sort of do that expansion for at least 7 days before you set a new expansion. Naturally, these expansions will come to a stop because then it would be formed or it would turn into a habit and no longer a micro habit, which is up to you. You might start a micro habit that you want to form into a much larger daily habit for yourself. So the expansion greatly depends on what you want to achieve. One thing I'm very good at is my waistline likes to expand, unfortunately. The 4th thing to keep in mind is to keep building habits. Once you have built a micro habit, move into the next one. My recommendation here is to start with one micro habit. Once that sort of becomes regular and consistent, start building the next one. Don't try and do a million micro habits all at the same time, okay? You're just asking for failure. Just keep it simple. Remember, now, rule number 1, keep it simple, keep it easy. 1 habit at a time. Okay, 1 at a time. When one of those micro habits becomes consistent and you're doing it every day on autopilot, meaning you're not thinking about it anymore, it's just happening. Move into the next one. Find the next micro habit that you can start working on, that you can build into your daily routine. Now for the juicy part. Let's look at some examples of micro habits you can use specifically for language learning. A lot of these micro habits that you want to build are going to be specific to your needs. If you want to focus on speaking, your micro habit is going to be around speaking. If you're more interested in writing, your micro habit might be about writing. So I'm just going to give you a few examples that don't really focus on any particular area because I don't know exactly what you are learning English for, but these examples will just help you think about what you can do. Watching a 5-minute video in English is an example of a micro habit. To just watch one every day. Now, it does not need to be an English learning video. It could just be a video in English. Okay, so a music video, something funny that's going to make you laugh, something that's entertaining for you, something that is informative, an interesting fact, whatever it may be. Watch just 5 minutes a day. That could be a good example of a micro habit. This next one is something I have actually recommended to some of my students, and learning vocabulary is tough, especially when we learn a new word but then we never use it or review it. So a little micro habit that you could maybe include in your daily life to sort of take in these new words, review them and learn them and consistently practice with them so that they actually stay in your long-term memory. A thing that you could do, or at least what I have recommended, is take the words that maybe you've learned in any given week. I would not say any more than 5. I think 5 is a bit much, but 3 to 5 words that you think you would actually use and would be useful to you. Write them down on like a little piece of paper. Take that paper, stick it up somewhere in your bathroom, for example, and now it doesn't just have to be the words. You could have the words in example sentences because remember, context is important when it comes to learning vocabulary. But what you're going to do is you're going to stick this paper somewhere in your bathroom where you can see it regularly, and I recommend when you brush your teeth, right? Review the words. Have a look at the sticky note while you brush your teeth. You're already there. You're doing it 2 to 3 times a day. Well, at least I hope you're brushing your teeth. And that means that you would be reviewing those words 2 to 3 times every day. I have recommended doing this for a week. 1 week. You review the same words. By the end of that week, if you have been consistent and you have been reviewing them every time you brush your teeth, I can't imagine that you would not know these words and how to use them and that they would not become part of your sort of daily vocabulary. So give that a try. See if it works for you. Let me know in the comments. If you give it a try, let me know in the comments and see if it helps. The last example micro habit I want to give you, because I don't want to give too little or too many and overwhelm you. But another idea is if you're more interested in writing, you could look at writing 1 sentence about your day every day. So this could be a sentence about what happened during that day, just 1 full sentence that you can write down and you can review it the next morning or the next night when you write your next sentence. As you develop this and get used to writing just 1 sentence every day, you can start to expand, remember, expand the topics or the things that you write about You can write 2 sentences and then 3 sentences as you develop this micro-habit. There are many other options that you could try, but those are just some examples of the things that you could do to build a micro-habit. To close off, the one thing I do just want to go over again is to pair these micro-habits with other habits you are already doing. So that 5-minute video, maybe you could watch it when you have your cup of coffee, tea, or water first thing in the morning, right? It's likely that you're not doing anything else when you're having your first cup of coffee. It's not true for everyone, but for most people. Why not, while you enjoy your coffee, also watch a really entertaining video in English or listen to your favorite song in English, right? Pair the two together. You're already spending the time doing one thing, why not add another? Maximize, right? We call this to maximize on your time. Another way that you could pair habits together, for example, brushing your teeth and reviewing vocabulary, we're taking one habit that you already do really well and consistently and adding another habit to it that can help you achieve your goals. Another thing some of my students actually do is when they go for a walk. I have a lot of students that maybe go for a daily walk. Maybe you're walking the dogs, maybe you go to the park with the kids, or you're just walking for yourself. Listen to an audiobook or listen to music in English and sing. You could put those 2 activities together if that's something that would interest you. Personally, I don't like to listen to anything when I walk my dogs. I like to sort of listen to nature and be in the moment, so only do this if it's something that would work for you. Alright, so to review, micro-habits are small habits that you can do every day to help you achieve a goal. Remember the 4 elements. Keep it simple, set your expectations low, commit and be accountable. Put in the time. Hold yourself accountable to putting in the work. Number 3, expand on your habit, right? Make it longer, make it bigger. If that works for you, do that. Expand only up until the point that works for you. Number 4, keep building habits, one at a time. When you have one habit completed and is now consistently part of your life, start on the next one. I hope you enjoyed this little tip today, and I hope that it can help you with your language learning goals. Please give it a try. Let us know some different types of habits that you think of and that you've tried and that are actually working for you. Share your experiences so that we can all help each other. Remember, if you like the video, please do subscribe, click the bell notification so that you know when I release a new video, and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining me. See you on the other side. Bye.
I love my dog, but really...